Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm gonna do a update on the '55 convertible. I wasn't able to work on it last week, although we had real nice weather. I was working on my pickup truck, put new plugs in it and a carrier bearing. The plugs have the AC Delco Platinums, and the gap had to have been close to about 85 thousandths. I mean, the electrode was totally missing off the plug on the, or the electrode was totally missing where the gap was real big. So that occupied my weekend. That and, ever since I tore this car apart, I've had no room in the garage to walk around. So my goal every day is to take one thing out, get rid of one thing, no matter how big or how small it is, just trying to make some room. Because with the fenders and the doors, or not the doors, but with the fenders, the seats, the core support, I mean, I had stuff everywhere. I mean, I just shoved it all inside that one night just so I could get the garage shut. And it's getting better, but it won't get better all the way until the nose is back on it. So I'll show you where we're at right now. Okay, so I put the frame back up underneath of the car. And I had to take all four wheels off of it and creep it inch by inch by inch back underneath the car, but the frame's all back up underneath of it. So what I'm trying to do right now is, well, not today, I got to go to work. I'm trying to just get a video out before I head to work, but what I'm trying to do right now is get the frame centered back in there where it needs to be, lined up on the body, because I was like getting ready to brace it and start cutting the floors out of the car. And then a couple people had left me a comment saying that car needed to go back onto the frame and be aligned to the frame where all your gaps and everything was set, and then braced and then lifted back up to do the floors. So I was looking at some of the body mounts, and I ran in to this gem right here. This side over here is not horrible. See, it's got a little bit of rust there, and that'll take a small patch. But this side, they had it covered up with some pink body putty. You could still see it, and then it had like screen out of your screen door, and these are very important on a convertible. So I'm going to have to try to clean this up as best as possible and make a patch, and then even try to repair that, because that should be like a perfect line all the way up. As you can see, it's trying to sit on the frame underneath there, but it's got this forced up. I mean, there's better than an inch gap where that one right there is holding the weight just fine. But that one right there, so that's telling me this whole quarter, this whole side is probably down probably a half inch to 3/4 of an inch from where it should be. So that's a jewel or a gem you run into, and this was their attempt to fix it. And when I sat it back onto the frame, this just kind of busted loose. I mean, they just robbed the screen door out of Mom's patio, didn't they? This had to have been a fix, probably, I don't know, 70s, mid 70s, because these cars started rusting away right away. I remember when I was young, my dad had a buddy. And, this is when I was in elementary school. So this would have been in probably the mid 80s, 85, 86, 87, something like that. But my dad's friend's name was Dan Shelton. And I'm sure he's long gone by now. He was old back then. But I remember him dragging old Tri-5 convertibles back from like Virginia and North Carolina, things like that, in the 80s. And I remember looking inside them cars, and there was no floors anywhere. I mean, they was gone. So The convertible started rusting pretty much right away. And in this part of the United States, you know, I'm thinking anything east of the Mississippi, you get pounded with rain constantly. So once the rust starts, it's just inevitable. It's not going to end. So I talked to the guy that's building the engine. The engine's done. What we're waiting on for the engine right now, not really waiting on, but I just went and seen him Sunday and gave him some more money on the engine. The short block's assembled, the heads are assembled, and right now he put the oil pump, a brand new oil pump, in the pickup in the motor. And if you guys are familiar with them, the pickup screen is normally just pressed in, which, you know, that holds it pretty good, but I'm having him set the depth, because it's got to be the right depth underneath your oil pan. You know, the screen's got to be away from it enough where it can scavenge oil. And then he's gonna weld that screen in solid to the oil pan. And it's kind of tricky because the oil pump is cast iron and the tube on the screen is steel. So, you know, I probably could have done it, but it was already out there. And I just told him, you know, go ahead and set up the oil pan and the pickup for me, and I'll pick the motor up either throughout this week or this weekend. So the engine will be coming back. I seen the heads. They're all new valves, valve springs, retainers. The exhaust has got hardened exhaust seats in it, so I'll be able to run, you know, today's gas. I'll realistically be able to probably run 87 octane in that thing, and it'll be perfectly happy. Although it's an old engine, it's had the right stuff done to it. So the engine will be coming back here pretty soon. And then I got one more thing that's real neat, and I've been chasing these for years, but they are so hard to come by, and they're normally pretty big money. And the last few sets I've been beat out at the last second. Well, there was a catalog back years ago that would make aftermarket parts for these cars when they was new, and it was a company called JC Whitney's. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with that. Well, they had made small little headlight accessories that went on the tip of your fender right above the headlight, and I finally was able to track down a set of them. They don't have any markings on the back of them, so I'm not sure if JC Whitney's made them or some other company, but they're real old. They're very hard to find, and they're really actually even hard to research. Nobody has a lot of info on them, so let's go check them out. And I moved all my parts for the 265, but yeah, we're still in the same position. I gotta get all my gaps right, because you can see how it's sitting right now. It's tight. The door's tight up here, so really the quarters need to come up. But it's got the new frame on it and everything. But you can see my dilemma, just stuff everywhere. That's a problem, guys. I mean, there just ain't enough room to work with. One of my buddies off of YouTube, BW, he found me this intake. It's a 57 to 61. 56, it wouldn't have had this, basically number 8 like this on the ports. A 56 would have been 4 individual circles like that. And it should work, but the intake runners, they changed the size of them in 57 to where the intake runner is slightly bigger than my intake runner going to the head, which it should still work. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So let's see what we got here. They need cleaned up, but I mean, these are really cool. A lot of people may not like them. Yeah, let's see. And they look kind of dingy right now, but they're not pitted at all. But this was a factory accessory from JC Whitney's for a 55 Chevy. I think all that'll clean up. I haven't even, my daughter opened them up yesterday and showed them to me. I haven't even cleaned them or anything. But I got a heck of a price on them, so I'm not even going to complain. And they're original. Some people's crazy. They want things perfect, but not me. Perfect to me would be a happy wife, a happy family, and everybody's healthy. That's perfect to me. It doesn't involve a car being perfect. I can tell you that much for sure. But this is what they are. They was made by JC Whitney's. Well, they was sold by JC Whitney's, excuse me, but I've looked inside there and there's no markings whatsoever for them. But what they do is they fit on the tip of your headlight, right above your, I mean, look at how nice they fit the whole way around there. Isn't that something? And you can see it's got some real minor pitting, but man, I'll polish them bad boys up, and where I come from, that's show quality. I ain't even gonna kid you. Where I come from, that's show quality. Yeah, and they secure off of that screw. And once again, these are headlight accessory eyebrows sold through the parts aftermarket parts catalog, the very early one, JC Whitney's. But I'm gonna run these on the convertible. And I know a lot of people's like, whoa, from what I've heard, everybody thought these was real tacky back in the day. They didn't like them. But I'm telling you right now, that is pretty much as freaking cool as it gets right there. So, and guys, that's what makes our cars special. You build them the way you want to build them. You don't build them like everybody else's. That's what makes America and the world what it is. We're all different, guys. Like, it's going to take a while as I continue to work on this convertible. It's like a onion. You're just continuing to pull layers off of it. But I got a lot of money in this car, so I'm going to take my time with it. And this is turning into a long-term project. Frame looks good. The frame's back underneath there, but that's just temporarily. Hopefully this weekend we'll get some good weather where I can roll it outside and I can get a floor jack underneath there. And a convertible body is very vulnerable. Don't let anybody tell you any different. When these cars was brand new, they would tell you if you was ever to lift the car up on a lift or something like that, make sure the doors was shut and the windows was up to try to give it strength. And I've even read, comments back in the day where people say that the door would start to come unlatched if it went up a real steep approach into like a gas station or a supermarket or something, because they flex so much. And they don't even have a rubber body mount on them. They have like a super, super, super condensed, crushed, cardboard, very condensed cardboard. So it's pretty much bolting the frame to the body as tight as it can. They don't want no movement whatsoever. So, it's going to take some time to get it just right, but it's, like I said, it's a long-term project. And when I get it done, like I was telling you, build the car how you want to build that car. This car will be black with a black top and a red and white 55 Nomad interior in it. The seat covers and everything. So build it with your dream in mind. Don't build it like, build it however you want. But I always like to build my stuff with my own little twist to it, So, well, we'll take one more look at them. How cool is that? See, in there, there's no markings on the inside of them. I've heard people call these before the eyebrows for the Nomad. I don't think so, guys. But that's what it is. It just goes right up on there. See, I got to squeeze. There's like a pinch point right here just for me get my big belly through there. But, and I got lucky. These fenders, it's got It's got a little bit of damage there, and it's got a dent right there, but these fenders are 100% rust free, so it still fits the curvature of it just how it should. And I'll polish them up, you know. For the most part, they kind of match the headlight bezels, you know, the same condition really, and even the park lights. So there's your update, guys. I do believe this little staining will come right off of here. Kind of looks worse than what it actually is, but once again, they're original. I'll polish them up in the next little video, and we'll see how it works out, see how they clean up. But like I was saying, and I'm trying not to ramble much, but I build my cars slightly different. Like this is a Corvette 327 L79. It's got a 4-speed. Got the original power steering. Because I wanted the 4-speed, but you know, on these cars it's hard to steer out of somewhere when you're trying to take off with the 4-speed. You know, put you the power steering on it. This car comes stock with the power steering on it, but that makes a world of difference. You could steer one of these cars with one finger with the power steering on it. So anyways, guys, there's your update. When I get the engine back home, I'll do a video on that, and we'll see how that build turned out. It looks good. I was just looking at it a couple days ago. It looks good. I'm ready to get it back, and I'll probably put the heads on it, assemble the motor, paint it all up, and I'll probably sit it in the car for right now, because it's going to take, you know, a lot of weekends of me rolling that car outside and cutting them floors before I actually lift it up and sit it back down on the floors. At the end of the day, my number one goal is to do the nicest job I can physically do on that car. So time is not of the essence on that. So anyways, really appreciate everybody that has subscribed to my channel or watched the Don's Hot Rod Garage video. I just recently passed 500,000 views. So you guys are rocking and rolling, and I truly, truly appreciate that. I'm just somebody that does what I love, and I've decided to document what I do with these cars. Not only for us to enjoy now, but maybe the younger generation, if they want to fix up Dad's 56 Chevy, maybe they can look at some of my videos for reference or information. Nothing else, they can enjoy them, and hopefully it'll inspire them. So thank you guys. You guys are all the best for all the support on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys on the next video.